police and is located at 747 Sun Park Drive in Fenton, Missouri, that would be furthering the cause of nonviolence, because they're removing part of the means by which violence is done to the people. Those decrying violence aren't concerned with police brutality, but expect you to shed a tear over looting a Target. As a totally unrelated side note, the largest source of theft by far is wage theft by corporations, to the tune of $40 billion a year, stolen from workers in the form of overtime violations, minimum wage violations.
This is a great little infographic, and I'll share it right afterwards. But when you hear this talk of defunding the police, right, everyone's kind of like, well, you need the police, though, because at the end of the day, when who are you going to call? It's the Ghostbusters principle. I think there's probably a rule for that. I'll name it, okay? It's called the Ghostbusters rule. Based on the Ghostbusters rule, when you're in the dead of night and you hear a scary sound, who are you going to call, right? Probably the police, if you're white, obviously, because you want them to come and protect you. So why would we want to defund the police? We'd have anarchy. People would run around the streets naked, having sex with each other all the time. It would be utter chaos. We could get nothing done. We need the police. The police are essential. So, apparently, statistics show the police solve about 22% of violent crimes and 7% of property crimes. That's what we call ineffective. They're very, very expensive. Police are usually the largest city expense, but are not accountable and always demand increases. The average police budget increases dramatically over time. Look no further than some of the city budgets that have been released recently with all this hoopla going down around the world, showing that the police are actually sometimes the biggest expenditure that any city has. Cities, by the way, that are woefully underfunded for things like healthcare, for things like schools. So, yeah, maybe we need, better education, better health for our citizenry. Most mental health is healthcare, but most mental health crises are not handled by unrestrained cops. We need special trained specialists to help in a crisis, not comps. Militarization has led to billions being spent on tanks, drones, and weapons in the police force. We don't need police tanks. I'm sorry, we just don't. We know that drug use is often used for self-medication and can even be done without harm, so we should end the war on drugs. Yes. Listen to the economists. Our prison system is an industrial complex. Prison labor has been used by top brands to cut costs and increase profits, including Walmart, AT&T, and Whole Foods. What? Whole Foods? Which I'm astounded. Mandatory minimum sentences boost prison populations without regard for context. The United States has the wonderful title of having the largest prison population in the world. 1% of all Americans are in jail. So you did it, America. Congratulations. Private jails make billions from labor, often cutting care and education to lower parole success to trap in the workforce. So yeah, it's a great perpetual cycle. It helps out the corporations, of course, because who doesn't love slavery? And it keeps the prison industrial complex well funded. The biggest way to prevent crime is to change economic conditions. So the biggest causality when it comes to generating new crime is poverty. So, hey, if we took a little bit of that money that we're spending on tanks, so the police can use tanks on their own citizen, we could then take that money and put it into things like, housing the homeless, healthcare, things that would actually ameliorate the conditions of society and lower the amount of crime. Because ultimately, none of us want crime, right? Unless we're just trying to perpetuate some weird kind of, white race essentialism. So, yeah. We have an average of reoffense rate of 70% compared to 16% for the Bastoy prison island, which means they prioritize. Other countries, by the way, such as Scandinavian countries, have tried pilot programs where their prison system isn't about punitive, isn't basically about punishing people, it's about educating people. So their prison systems are actually trying to be rehabilitation centers where people can learn. And of course, I'm sure the Republicans are already screaming at that idea because it's like, well, then people will just commit crimes to go to school for free. Well, no, because you have school. If you pay for a decent school system, you don't have to worry about that too. That would probably be okay. 20% of inmates are mentally ill. Prisons are the new asylum for those in need. 20%. That should just shock and astound people. It's a perpetual cycle. You can end inequality at the source. We know that poverty is the parent of crime. People with low income levels below the poverty have more than double the rate of victimization. Poverty is created by insufficient employment. Employment is intentionally kept low in capitalism to ensure low wages and large labor pool. A jobs guarantee would increase employment and wages with a national program like building and improving infrastructure and transitioning to green technology. Inequality is a cycle that must be broken through education. Prisoners are 40% likely to reoffend when educated in prison. Society needs training as well. We know that it's cheaper to train and release, more profitable for society to empower than enslave. We can commit to learning a better way and doing it. So I'm sure everyone, regardless of what side of the political aisle you're on, you probably want results. So this is an olive branch to the conservative side of the wing. If you happen to be a neocon, a con, or a con artist, or a fleshlight connoisseur, whatever your particular flavor is, you probably want better results for society. You want less criminals, you want less crime, you want less violent crime, you probably want less drug addicts, you want less ODs, you want less suicides. Here's the way. Let us show you the way. The path is quite clear. The only difference is you're going to have to remove a lot of the systems that are in place, including the prison industrial complex. And I know that's scary because, again, you love slavery and you love slave wages, but there's light at the end of the rainbow, and that light would be less crime, better society, and more orgasms. This I guarantee.
Hey friend, thanks for watching. Before we bombard you with all of our shameless links, we want you to bombard us. Do you have a worker co-op business or local union you'd like us to advertise at the end of our episode for free? So, if you'd like ears on your worker co-op, go down to weareserfs.com. And while you're there, join the Discord because it's filled with righteous guys, gals, and MPals. Finally, come check us out on Twitch Live 5 days a week by going to twitch.tv/thesurftv. Yeah. To our lords, Ricky Pilgrim, I'm Raft, Tomospone, Nine Tails Cosmic Fox, Hans Josephine, and Corpse Harvester, we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our Knights of the Round Table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Byth, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Clement Chetskoff, Cooper Pilot, aka the man with large balls, Political Puppy, Nick Davis, Ali May, and Alan R., we salute you. And to our many merchants and farmers, you have our undying loyalty.